Wrapping up, it's the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network. I am Ryan Hartson. We just broke down all the average games in the National Football League. Week 4, not much of a week in the National Football League. A lot of bad games. Hopefully some of them will end up being interesting. But the games you have, 5 excellent football games that are going to tell you a lot about the contenders in this league. Detroit and Dallas in Dallas. Matthew Stafford versus Tony Romo. How are Tony Romo's ribs going to hold up for another week against Indomitian Sue and company? And then you've got, Matthew Stafford. How's he going to react? Calvin Johnson. How many touchdowns is he going to catch this week? He is helping fantasy teams everywhere, isn't he? He is a great receiver, and he is slowly going up the ranks of the elite receivers. Right now, I'd put him right behind Greg Jennings for like the 4th best receiver in the league. Now, this is just me. My list, I'm just throwing this out there. It's volatile, and it's subject to change at all times. Andre Johnson 1, Larry Fitzgerald 2, Greg Jennings 3, and I'd put Calvin Johnson 4. Most of them are big and tall and have great hands. Greg Jennings is kind of short, and but he's still a great deep threat, despite being only like 5'11". But anyway, this is an excellent game. And the biggest things I'd look at is how is Ndamukong Suh and that defensive line going to do against that makeshift Dallas offensive line. And Tony Romo might be the first quarterback on Detroit's schedule that can expose that Lions secondary, which I believe is iffy. So I think you're going to see a lot of points in this game, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. But, anything can happen. And that's going to be a fascinating matchup. It's going to be a lot of points, and it should be interesting. Moving on, San Francisco and Philadelphia. The Eagles are off to a slow start. Mike Vick is off to an average start. The Niners look to be pretty good. They're going to be in every game, running the ball, playing defense. So they're just a really good team, and they do a lot of things well. Alex Smith scares me, and Nnamdi Asomugha needs a pick 6 or 2. So, I think in Philadelphia, San Francisco stayed in Ohio all week. So, they didn't go back because they had Cleveland. Was it Cleveland last week? And then they come out and they stay in Ohio all week, and now they're going to Philadelphia. So we'll see how that scheduling change affects them. The Eagles are a little upset, and Mike Vick hasn't had a big game yet. I think he's kind of due. So Philadelphia, this is a big game just because you want to see what Mike Vick does, because we're really watching him. He's really under the microscope right now. So we'll see what happens with Mike Vick, his bruised hand. How are they going to officiate him? It's really about Mike Vick and how he plays. That is the only thing that matters in this game, and that's why it's a big game. You figure Philadelphia will win it, but again, in the NFL, anything can happen. Pittsburgh and Houston, it's in Houston. The Steelers scare me. They're just clearly not as good, not as athletic as they were last year. They're kind of old. Roethlisberger looks pretty good. Can he go score for score with Matt Schaub? You would think so. So I think this is going to be a high score. I don't think Pittsburgh can stop them. And Houston obviously can't stop anybody. So it's going to be a fun one. This is going to be a fun one. If Houston is for real, they will win this game. That's it. If Houston is the real deal, you come off a tough loss in New Orleans. How do you come home and respond? Houston, the real deal. Are they? How good are they really? Pittsburgh, a great barometer of that. This could be an AFC Championship game preview. Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. New England at Oakland, not an AFC Championship preview. Do you think Tom Brady's a little upset, and Belichick and all those guys? And do you think they're getting their defense ready to play against that Oakland running game? Yeah. Oakland, they're going to run the ball. They're going to play very well. I think this game is going to be close because it's in Oakland. If it was in New England, I would think differently. But in Oakland, I think New England's going to keep it close. They're going to play extremely well. Brady's going to have to score 45 points to win this game because I don't think New England can stop that running game. And you never know. He might be able to do it. So the Jets and the Ravens, the Sunday night game, it's in Baltimore. Flacco looks excellent. Sanchez looks good sometimes, not so good other times. Same old Mark Sanchez, really. but he does look better. His best, he plays well more often this year, which is good. So maybe next year he takes another step and another step, eventually into being an elite quarterback. You never know, but he's moving towards that. Flacco looks like he's getting there. I've said this. Flacco looks better than Matt Ryan. Flacco is a better quarterback than Matt Ryan is right now, and we're always going to compare them because they were drafted in the same year in the first round. So Flacco and Matt Ryan, in my head, they're kind of the same, and I always, bounce them against each other or compare them against each other because they seem similar to me. So, well, they're not. But I like Flacco looks good, and it's at home, and the Jets can't stop the run, and Ray Rice running from Rutgers for the Ravens looks pretty good. So it's interesting. It's going to be low scoring, slugfest. It's going to be entertaining, and the winner is in good position in the AFC, not just their division, but in the whole AFC. So there you go. Those are your big games in the National Football League. All of them are a lot of fun. Pittsburgh-Houston is going to be great. That is going to be just phenomenal. Detroit and Dallas is going to be really good too. A lot of touchdowns between those two games. So there you go. All right, let's pick every game in the National Football League right now. Going back to the bad games, let's pick the games. Panthers at Bears. Bears are at home. Somebody has to win this game. I trust Cutler a little more than I trust Cam Newton, but honestly, at this point, not much more. Bills at Bengals. I think the Bills are going to keep it going. Bengals just don't have what it takes defensively to stop Ryan Fitzpatrick and that powerful Buffalo attack. Who thought anybody'd ever be saying that? Jesus. Titans at Browns. The Titans really just aren't that good, and I think the Browns are going to run all over them. That could be a bit of a blowout, and if the Browns win that game, they might be a contender. Might be a contender. You never know. Saints at Jaguars. Drew Brees, please. Thank you very much. I will take the Saints big in that game because the Jaguars are, similar to the Titans, are awful. Vikings at Chiefs. Vikings have to win a game eventually, and the Chiefs are going to be like 1-15. So Vikings, but it's going to be close because those teams are bad. Redskins at Rams. Bradford has to come out of it eventually. And the Redskins don't play the kind of defense I'd like. I don't trust them enough. I don't trust the Redskins enough. In St. Louis, Bradford really needs a win to get people off his back. I'm going to take the Rams at home. Giants at Cardinals. I'm not ready to say the Giants are good. Like I said on Monday, I have my eye on the Giants. I'm not sure what I think on them, but they have caught my attention now. In my upset of the week, I'm going to take the Cardinals at home. Kevin Cobb's going to make enough plays against that bad Giants secondary. Falcons at Seahawks. There's something about Seattle at home. I bet against it last week. Not going to bet against it this week. Seattle at home. Denver at Green Bay. The Packers need a blowout to rest up for that big Falcons game next week. Green Bay at home, big. Aaron Rodgers, a lot of yards, continues to move towards his league MVP this year. Dolphins at Chargers. Miami is terrible and a joke, and it's a shame because Sprono was a good guy, and Parcells did such a great job putting that team together, and as soon as he left, it just fell apart. So, San Diego, nice and easy. They're not going to have too much of a hard time, I don't think. Detroit at Dallas. Cowboys at home. Romo over Stafford. He's going to expose the Lions secondary. Lions pick up that first loss of the season, but it's okay because they're going to win a ton of games this year. Niners at Eagles. I don't. This whole staying in Ohio thing, I just find weird and I don't like for the Niners. I don't. And Mike Vick needs a big game this week. He needs a big game this week for people to understand, hey, I'm still Mike Vick, and the media can go back to loving him like they normally do. So I'll take the Eagles at home. Steelers at Texans. I'm going to take the Texans at home. I'm done with the Steelers. I don't trust them. I just don't trust Pittsburgh. I told you their defense was too old to begin with, and Matt Schaub, that would be a signature win, and all of a sudden would be taking the Texans completely seriously if they won this game. I'm taking them seriously already. I'm going to take the Texans to win. Patriots at Raiders. Brady, after throwing 4 interceptions, he might throw for 600 yards. I'll take the Patriots, but it's going to be close because the Patriots aren't going to be able to stop the run. So, it's going to be like 45-40, total shootout. Jets at Ravens. Jets can't stop the run. That's it. Jets can't stop the run. They also can't run the ball. And Sanchez just isn't as good as Flacco. Ravens, really close. Low scoring, close. Good games. There you go. All right. That's your NFL Week 4 preview. A lot of good stuff today. A lot of good action this week. Hope you enjoy it. I'll be back to break it down all on Monday. Corey will be back next week, we hope, unless, he can't figure out how to get here. I don't know. See you next time. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network.